So here we have it, right? Week 2, we're gonna start our new transaction the um, as of the 8th of June. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So on June 8th, what did we do?
We bought a truck.
Yes, we bought a truck. So let's take a look at the details here. Okay, we bought a truck from Honest Rob's auto dealership for $28,900. Okay, the fees that it took us to encounter were tax, obviously. You have to pay tax on the car. You have to pay documentation fees. So again, registration fees are going to be what you have to encounter, especially if you're trying to walk away with the car and drive it off the parking lot. So here you have to do all the documentation fees, and what the dealership is going to do is they're going to submit that form for you. Okay, and also we also have to run your credit score. You have a down payment, right? If you want to lessen your bank loan, you're also going to make a down payment. So here, not only did we run your credit, we got to see if you could be approved for a bank loan. Okay, from, of course, our Main Bank of Nevada. So let's take a look at this. Main Bank of Nevada. Okay, account number, yada, yada, yada. All right, and guess what? We got approved for a 3-year bank loan at 3% interest, which is really low. And so that means we have 3 years to pay it off. So we have 36 months to pay off this bank loan. All right, and principal and interest are going to be payable on the 20th of each month. Okay, payments is going to be $849.81 per month. So because we have less time, right, your payment every month is going to be pretty high. All right, and because we got approved this credit score, right, that means that's a really good deal right there. However, you have to pay more. Okay, so once again, all this information is going to be relative to your bank loan, but let's go ahead and tally up what our total loan is going to be for. So once again, the truck is going to be for, right, we're going to add our truck price, we're going to add the tax, we're going to add the documentation fees, and we're going to subtract our down payment, because in this case, the down payment kind of goes against your bank loan. So in this case, my total that my truck is going to be worth is $32,208.90. Okay, so once again, we wrote a check, okay, to Honest Rob's for our down payment. So therefore, you can also figure out what your bank loan is going to be, right? It's going to be your total price, subtract out your down payment, is going to be whatever amount your loan is going to be for. So in this case, I've done the calculation for you already. So you should be looking at $29,221.90 worth of a loan. So let's go ahead and take a look at our chart of accounts to locate what our truck account is and what our loan account is. Okay. So what is my truck going to be? My account for my truck?
$17,010.
17,010. Okay. What about my truck loan? Obviously, it's 3 years, so what do you think it's going to be?
Is it just going to be under loans, or is there an actual truck loan?
Let's take a look.
It's truck loan.
Right? We can accept a business loan or a truck loan. So there's lots of different types of loans that you can look for. So maybe we might in the future take a look at a business loan. Okay, but in this case, we have a specific one for truck loan. It's 2820. Okay, so let's go ahead and journalize. So first things first is we acquired a truck. Okay, account number 17010. Okay, and if you want to do the calculations here, once again, you can, right? You could figure out that 28,991 plus my 2340.90 plus my was it 968 plus, oh, that's it, should give you 32,208.91. Oops, I got 81, fat fingered something there. By the way, you could do it like that to calculate your total amount here, but in this case, I've already done the work for you. It is 32,208.90. Okay. Once again, we made a down payment, so that's obviously going to be a credit, right? Because we wrote a check for the down payment. So checking, okay, for the total of 2,987. Okay, and of course, we have a truck loan. Which was 28 was it 28,080 or 50? 30, I don't know. Let's take a look. I think it's 28 20. Thank you. All right. So here we can figure that out by taking our total amount, subtract out our down payment to get you. Okay, sorry, I have to redo that again. I did a lot of fat fingering here. So here you go, equals this minus your down payment should give you 29,221.90. Okay, and we're going to write a check. So let's go ahead and figure out what check number it is. Okay, it is June 8th. We wrote a check for $2,987. All right, and who did we write this check out to?
Auto dealership.
Mm-hmm. All right, so there we go. Honest Rob's Auto Dealership. Okay, and we got this for check number 1508. So once again, back to the journal. We're going to go ahead and indicate that we dealt with Honest Rob's Auto Dealership. And we wrote check number 1508. Okay? Any information from here, okay? It's up to you if you want to place it in there, but once again, we do have a place to place it in there, right? Our ledger will fill in most of our bubbles or our areas, okay? So there we have it. I think that's good enough for now. Usually you'll have a receipt number for this car transaction, but in this case, I don't have one. So, okay. All right, so here I finally completed my journal. So, therefore, I wrote my check. That's all I need to deal with right now. No deposit, no nothing. So here, I'm going to go ahead and update my ledger account. So first thing I have here is that I acquired a truck. So locate your truck. Okay, under vehicles, here's my truck. It is 6'8" right now. Okay, and then you can enter in Like the truck itself was 28,991 cents, I think so. Let me see. Yeah.
221.90.
Oh wait, there is no cents. 90 cents. It's just 28,900. Okay, and then of course you could say tax in there and your documentation fees. So any of that information, if you want to put in there, it's you're gonna make that assumed as part of the cost. So the tax was
Tax is 23.40.90.
2 3
$40.90.
all right, documentation 958 968. Mm-hmm. All right, and that should be your total here. Post reference, once again, is General Journal number 3 because we started a new one. And because we acquired a truck, it's for the 32,208.90. All right, and because since that's your very first entry here, therefore your debit balance should be the 32,208.90.
Can you give me a minute to catch up, please?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now that one's done. Once again, next account that we have is my checking account. Um, Here it is. All right. And then you could choose what you want to place in here. In this case, I'm just going to make it check number 1508. If you want to place that this was a down payment for your truck, go ahead and do so. If you made a note in your check register, then it's going to be that right there. But once again, I could pull this information and be like, okay, so I wrote a check out to Honest Rob's auto dealership. Makes sense. You probably made a payment to the car. Okay, so there we have it. And then once again, it's General Journal number 3. And we are going to credit our account for the 2987. So therefore, I should now have a new account balance of $7,202.42. Okay, so out of my $30,000, I only have $7,000 left. Okay. All right. So then, now, last but not least, we must go to our liabilities and indicate that we have a truck loan. So it should be the very last table in your liabilities sheet. Okay, very last table. It is now 2/8. So not February, 6/8. Okay. And then here you can go ahead and place all the information that you need to put in there, such as that you borrowed money, or this is from the main bank, okay, loan, okay. It's for 3 years, and you have 3% interest, okay, and your monthly payments, so monthly PMT is going to be $849. $849.81. Okay, piece of information like that. Okay, all right. Once again, this was General Journal number 3. And this time, since it's on the credit side, therefore, it was for the 29/2/21/90. So therefore, your account should reflect as is. Okay? Okay, so for the 29/2/21/90. Okay? So now that we completed our transaction here with our posting it to the journal and then posting it to the ledger, now we have to go post it to our our subsidiary ledger because we dealt with vendors. Okay? So first thing that we're going to take a look at is going to locate Honest Rob's because that's the store or that's the dealership that I purchased the truck from. Here we are, Honest Rob's. Okay? And you're going to go ahead and indicate the date and anything that you want to make a note for, go ahead and enter it in here. So you could say that you acquired a truck, okay? And you made a down payment, so whatever the truck was. So I'm going to say the truck was valued at $32,208.90, right? Which includes everything. And you also made a down payment. Okay? For $2,987. Okay? And then you also wrote check number 1508. Again, I think there should be an invoice number. I don't remember. Let's see. Did we have an invoice number? No, we didn't. Just the account number, which isn't for us, right? That's for our main account. So in this case, I don't have one, so you could skip that one. Post reference, once again, was General Journal number 3. Again, when you're going to go to a dealership, they're not going to give you terms, okay? They will definitely not give you terms. They can give you a discount, but they for sure will not give you any terms, okay? Now, what I want you to write here is going to be the amount that you had to pay. Because in this case, when we make our payments, every time we pay our truck loan off, who are we actually dealing with? Are we dealing with Honest Rob's anymore?
No, we're dealing with the loan.
We're dealing with the loan. We're dealing with the bank. So in this case, my invoice number is whatever you're going to make a payment for. So in this case, I don't owe Rob after this anymore because I only paid Rob for whatever amount that I made my down payment was for. So in this case, my invoice amount is going to be for the $2,987 because that's how much I made a payment to Rob for either covering the taxes or whatever. Usually rule of thumb is that when you do pay for the car, if there is no down payment necessary, right, you are obligated to pay for tax. You can't just walk away with a brand new car paying $0. You are obligated to pay at least the tax before you can drive off the driveway. So in this case, I made a payment, right? Wasn't the tax itself, but usually that's general rule of thumb. Okay, so therefore my payment here was for the 2,987. So therefore, if I apply my formula, right, my invoice minus my prepaid minus my returns minus my discounts minus my payment, therefore it is 0. Okay, so for any reason that you decide that you're unhappy with that truck, yes, you can bring it back to Honest Rob's and say, I don't want this car anymore, I want my money back. The only problem is you're not going to get your full money back just because you already drove the car. So the minute you drive off the car, it automatically depreciates, okay, because you're already putting miles on it. So with that occasion, if you ever do return a car, it's going to be significantly lower. You're not going to get your full money back, or in this case, you might not even get your deposit back or your payment back. You're most likely going to get the car valued for like $5,000 less. Okay. Everything okay?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's okay. I missed a cell. Now I put my formula in, and it kept doing something weird, and it was just I missed a cell. I got it.
Okay. All right. Okay, so right now you owe Mr. Rob nothing. However, because we talked about the bank, therefore you need to make sure that you also enter in the information into your main Bank of Nevada because you got a loan from them. Okay, so once again, 6-8, and now you're gonna say you have a truck loan. Okay, truck loan valued at 29,221.90. Okay, right? You. This is where you're gonna say it's a 3-year loan at 3% interest, so that you're aware, and that your monthly payments are going to be your $849.81. Okay. So that's definitely you want something indicate right here. Now, because I haven't received my first bill yet, therefore you don't really need to do anything. You still need to enter in that you owe the bank money. But what I mean here is that the next bill that you do receive, therefore, is going to be your actual bill. So in this case, you don't need an invoice number because you haven't received your first bill yet. However, when you do receive it, right, not only are you going to get not only are you going to be looking at your 49 and 81 cents, right, that you have to pay, your interest is going to be automatically calculated. Okay. Now, once again, they didn't give us a grace period, right? They didn't say 0 APR for 15 months and then any day after that it's going to be your interest. They did not mention that. So in our case here, we're going to assume that the interest is going to start calculating as if the minute we drive off the parking lot. So in this case, no invoice number, okay? No due date because okay, so here was journal 3. Okay, so we do have one idea, right? We know that it's going to be due every 20th of the month. Okay? So you could just put the 20th so that you can make a note that every 20th you should be expecting a bill, or it's due on the 20th of every month. So therefore you should be expecting to receive a bill sometime soon. All right? And once again, there was no prepaid amount because you paid for Honest Rob's, right? You didn't pay towards the loan. You just paid the other vendor to just buy the car and drive off the freeway or drive off the parking lot. In this case, the loan was based off of what they originally you made the down payment for. So in the case, the truck was $32,000. However, because we made the payment of $29,000, therefore it decreased the amount that we owe. So in this case, you cannot place that information there just because it is unnecessary, right? Because the truck loan is valued at $29,221.90. Okay, you didn't make a payment to the loan; you made a payment to the actual dealership, and because of that, you're resulted in your loan to be this amount. Okay, and once again, you didn't make a payment yet, so therefore my formula here should reflect that I owe Maine Bank of Nevada $29,221.90. Okay, so once again, every month that we make a payment, right, if you choose to pay the amount that you're paying off, what you have to do is we're going to have to calculate the interest off of that. So when you actually make a payment to the loan, right, we're going to calculate how much interest you collect on top of that. Okay, So here we're going to and that's it for this, right? We got to take a look at two vendors here simultaneously for one transaction, right? We dealt with not only Rob himself, we also dealt with the Bain Bank because we got a truck loan. Okay, and that's it for this one. All right. Any questions in regards to this transaction here or this particular transaction? Okay. All right. So now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and take a look at our next transaction. Okay. So we're done with the bank here. All right. So here, what did we do here?
I've got a purchase order to All Things Ceramics.
Okay, so what are we buying?
80 ceramic coffee mugs
Okay.
at $245 per unit. Total cost of $196, $100 down payment.
Okay, so here we're making another purchase order, and this time this company is saying, hey, if you're gonna make a purchase, I require $100 down payment. So in this case, I'm making a purchase in advance, okay, or I'm making a payment that actually goes towards the actual overall bill. So in this case, I am creating what's like a voucher, right? I'm buying a voucher, and once I receive that voucher, when I receive the bill, right, I can redeem my voucher and it should apply to the invoice. So in this case, let's go ahead and take one step at a time. Let's actually initiate the purchase order itself. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our purchase orders, right? Purchase order number 305, okay? And this is as of the 8th, okay? And this is to All Things Ceramic. And what am I buying from them? I'm buying coffee mugs. Or you could just write mugs. Okay. And in this case, I'm quoted for $196. Nope. 196. Okay. So there you go. I verified that I have a purchase order. Now, the second thing I need to verify is now I'm writing a check to them because they require a $100 down payment. So I'm going to go to my journal, right? And I'm going to make my down payment. Okay, once again, it's going to be considered a prepaid accounts because, once again, I'm getting a voucher, right? I'm making a payment that's going towards the actual bill itself. Okay. So there you go, and checking. Okay. So prepaid accounts, what account? 18,600 and 10,100. All right, and we're making the down payment for $100. Okay, so let's go to our check register because we now realize that we have to write a check because we're sending it out to All Things Ceramics. So once again, it is the 8th. We're writing a $100 check to All Things Ceramics. Okay. And here we used check number 1509. Okay. So what I'm going to write here is I wrote the check out to, or the vendor that I dealt with was All Things Ceramics. This was purchase order number 305. Okay. And I wrote a check number 1509 for the 100 deposit, the down advance down payment, right? Okay. So that is that. Okay. All right. Give some couple minutes for a couple seconds for you guys to catch up. Okay. So here we already indicated that we have a purchase order. Okay. We already wrote a check, and here we're completing our transaction. We have the accounts and we have the description already filled in. Okay. So once again, now we need to move to our ledger. So we're going to go to our assets. Once again, I'm going to continue to follow through with whatever I journalized. So first thing I'm going to do here is locate my prepaid accounts. And here it is, prepaid accounts. Oops, sorry. So it's 6/8 now. And you could choose, you could say all things ceramics, or what you could do is purchase order number 7170305, because that should contain all the information. Down payment. Okay. Once again, this is general journal number 3, and we made the down payment for $100. So if you have your formula there, it should reflect that you now have $7,926.04 account balance in your prepaid accounts. Okay. All right. So that's that right there. And then last that we have here is going to be my checking account. So scroll all the way up to the top of the page, or page 1. Okay. Okay. It is the 8th. And we're taking a look at check number 1509. Once again, general journal number 3. And this time we wrote a check out for $100. So therefore, my bank account should tell me now that I have $71.02.42. Okay. All right. So then, last but not least, we need to enter our information into our subsidiary ledger, because we dealt with all things ceramics. So it should be here, should be page 3 of your subsidiary ledger, okay, at the top of your vendors list. 6/8. Okay. And what notes you want to say here is going to be your check number 1509. That should be easy enough. Or you could even write here that you had to do a down payment. Okay. And the invoice number is going to be your purchase order, right? That's your proof of a transaction. Purchase order number 170305. Okay. Okay. Post reference, once again, is generally general journal number 3. Now, this is where I'm going to have you guys do this, because it's very crucial that you do indicate it this way as well, because we purchase basically a voucher. And what's going to happen is when we receive this bill, I'm going to show you how to apply your amount that you paid for in advance as part of the actual bill itself. But in this case, right, I was given and I was told that I had a $100 deposit or down payment required. So in this case, that therefore my purchase order was pretty much my invoice number saying that I owe $100 and that I made a payment to it by writing check number 1509. So in this case, that's what I want to indicate here. That's what the purchase order said. So therefore, if I owed $100, therefore I paid with it using check number 1509. So therefore, right now, I owe all things ceramics nothing. Okay, because I take my invoice amount, I subtract out my prepaid, subtract out my returns, subtract my discounts, and subtract out my payments. And therefore I owe all things ceramics nothing. Okay? So once again, when we received our first bill and receive our inventory items, that's where we're going to make that indication, and I'm going to show you how to utilize this to make the bill appear as it should on the bill. Okay? So I'm going to stop here. Okay? I have to use the restroom, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here for now, and we'll continue on after the break.